Protesting against fracking every Thursday. Of course.
Like t-shirt?
Fracking, thank you. I thought David Albert said he was going to educate you guys to go home.
You want my, you don't want my opinion on that.
No, okay, no problem. I'm going. Talk to you
Keep
later.
on going. It would be a nice
The new one. I thought David Howard said he was going to educate you guys to go home.
Yeah, well, this type of education isn't really going to make us go anywhere. Rhetoric doesn't work.
No?
Ignorance doesn't work either.
There, the redheads. Oof.
Here, still here.
I thought David Howard said he was going to educate people to go home.
It's cool because
We have already done so very well. We have already, but we're waiting for information. We're certainly waiting for information. If there's anything else he can finally tell us about all the risks and costs, the true costs of this, I would be enlightened to hear that.
You good? I thought David Howard told you guys to go home. He will educate you.
He will.
That's what David Howard said.
No, inform.
Inform?
Yeah, not educated.
Not educate? No?
Inform.
I thought David Howard said that he was going to educate you just to go home.
I'm sorry.
David Howard said he was going to educate you. Just go home and he will educate you on this issue.
Right.
No?
No.
No?
Fat chance.
I thought David Howard said to go home. He will educate you.
Yeah, we're waiting for his education. I don't think he has much himself.
Excuse me. I thought David Howard said that to go home and he will educate you.
Is that a question?
No, but that's what he said. Go home. Why don't you go home and he will educate you in a few weeks.
How
Who's
can you
he?
trust?
David Howard.
How can you trust someone like that who cuts funding to programs, social programs, and doesn't really care about?
And this is what this is all about, right?
Yeah, future.
Yeah, well, David's already been talking to Mark.
David Howard said that he will educate you people, especially you. Well, Margaret Ann Blaney said, Margaret Ann Blaney, the IRA, said that you people were the IRA. Any comments on that?
I didn't hear that.
Almost the same. Troublemakers. You're not walking around with guns. What do you got to say about that?
Oh, I think it's ridiculous that she's accusing the Conservation Council of inciting violence. I mean, it's just not. It's not what we do. It's not our mandate.
I know that. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Listen, David Howard said that he was going to educate you. Go home and he will educate you.
I'd be more confident if David Albert told me that he was going to work to get the very best information and the best science to make a good decision.
Listen, David Howard said to go home and he will educate you in weeks ahead about this issue.
David Allward better get educated himself along with all the rest of his gang. We know a lot more than they do about it.
We're not going.
Not going? David Howard said that he was going to educate you. Go home and he will educate you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning. David Howard said to go home and David Howard will educate you. No?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, David Howard.
You're funny, Charles.
Okay, that's it. Two more. David Howard said to go home and he will educate you on this issue.
I think we need to educate him.
David Howard said, go home and he will educate you on this issue.
That's interesting how he will educate.
Okay, now we know the rest of the story. Oh, one more. Sorry, I missed one. David Howard said to go home and he will educate you on this issue.
Look, we just want to save our water. We're not trying to destroy David Allward. He's doing a good job on that on his own.
Hello. David Alward said to go home and he will educate you on this issue.
I'm here to educate David Alward because he hasn't got a clue about fracking.